Time now for the morning rush. We start with the big talker. APD says it's now considering making changes to the position of investigator. This after Chief Mike Geyer recently took some tough questions from the Police Oversight Board about how the detectives handled two recent high-profile cases. APD detectives fell under heavy criticism for the way they handled them. Geyer admits the process for turning officers into detectives is not where he wants it to be. The chief says his command staff is now working to implement more formal policies, including testing and requirements his officers have to have before they do become a detective.
New Mexico's Attorney General says he will look into accusations against Bernalillo County Sheriff Manny Gonzalez just like any other case. Now, this comes after Albuquerque Attorney Sam Bregman claims that the sheriff is retaliating against one of his own deputies. It's all in regards to a deposition in a wrongful death lawsuit. A sheriff's deputy has admitted to feeling intimidated. Now an investigation has been launched. BCSO vaguely confirmed the existence of that investigation. There's still no word on specifically what it's about.
Stop! Stop!
This moment happening when police caught up with who they say is Daniel Schmeiderberg. He's accused of causing two different car crashes while driving under the influence. He told police he was worried about getting arrested for driving while intoxicated. When given a field sobriety test, police say he blew more than 3 times the legal limit. He's been charged with aggravated DWI. Kristen.
Scattered to widespread storms and showers return to the state this afternoon. They begin over the mountains initially and then spread out into the lower elevations this afternoon and evening. Biggest threat here will be heavy rain causing flash flooding. Flash flood watches continue for most of the mountains. David?
As former FBI lawyer Lisa Page is scheduled to meet with members of Congress behind closed doors this morning, and this is all happening over text exchange with FBI agent Peter Strzok. Now, Peter Strzok had his own heated hearing about those texts, criticizing then candidate Donald Trump leading up to his White House win. And Strzok and Page both worked on the FBI investigation into Clinton's emails and later on special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. Now, the texts have since been the basis of the argument that Strzok and others in the FBI were actively working against the president.
Switch gears to London now. President Trump is facing backlash there this morning for comments made to a British tabloid criticizing British Prime Minister Theresa May's decisions about Brexit. Those comments released just moments after the two had dinner. The president telling the UK tabloid that May's Brexit plans could ruin future trade deals with the U.S. Despite the comments, May's spokesman says she's looking forward to discussing this with the president. The two are set to meet once again today.
A UN committee is still likely examining evidence sent to them from the Trump administration, arguing that North Korea breached sanctions, surpassing the annual cap for refined petroleum products. Now, the administration is now asking the committee to circulate the evidence and halt all illicit ship-to-ship transfers and exercise enhanced vigilance against North Korean purchases.
Santa Fe Mayor Ellen Weber is encouraging residents to oppose a citizenship question that will be added to Trump's 2020 census. According to the Santa Fe New Mexican, Weber has introduced a resolution that could express the city's opposition to that question. More than a dozen state attorneys general and several cities and counties have already filed the federal lawsuit seeking to block the citizenship question.
Rio Rancho parents will soon be notified via email of a more lenient dress code for the upcoming school year. Students can now wear shorts that reach the mid-thigh, sleeveless shirts, and graphic tees with lettering larger than 3 inches. Rio Rancho Public Schools says that the updated code is about conforming to current trends and what's available in stores. Kristen?
Today's Metro Threat Index up to a 7, looking at spotty to scattered storms here in the Metro. Biggest risks will be flooding as well as gusty winds. Crystal?
Work continues on a first-of-its-kind project in the nation this morning. The self-sustaining veterinary clinic. It's being built on the Zuni Pueblo and has dual purpose, helping stray animals and reducing litter. Over the past 2 weeks, volunteers from all over the world have been building the first-ever self-sustaining Earthship veterinary clinic, helping to cut down on costs and address the Pueblo's stray animal problem.
Well, happening in a few hours, fire restrictions will be lifted at the Cibola National Forest and National Grasslands. That all starts at 8 o'clock this morning. That's according to officials. Now, the city of Albuquerque also announced open space properties in the East Mountains will also be reopening today. The Carson and Santa Fe National Forests recently reopened their trails, campgrounds, and other areas. Kristen?
Time now for a check on your morning commute. No problems showing up on the map. We are clean and green across the city. Big Eye also looking pretty good at the hour. Of course, we'll keep tabs on that throughout the morning.
Albuquerque native Alex Bregman is securing a spot on the baseball home run derby. Now, the Houston Astros third baseman and Albuquerque Academy grad is ranked 4th in the derby. Now, so far this baseball season, Bregman has racked up 19 home runs. He's also set to go up against Kyle Schwarber and the Chicago Cubs in the first round. Now, the home run derby is next Monday, and that's taking place at Nationals Park. It's all in Washington, D.C.
Time now for the 5 facts.
At number 5, Albuquerque native and Houston Astros third baseman Alex Bregman is in the home run derby. The Albuquerque Academy grad, who is also playing in his first MLB All-Star game, is ranked 4th in the derby. Bregman has 19 home runs, and he also says it's been a dream to play in the All-Star game, but he didn't necessarily think he was ever going to be in the home run derby. Now, the home run derby is taking place next Monday at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C.
Good luck to him. Number 4 now, controversy is brewing when it comes to the nation's next census. Santa Fe Mayor Ellen Weber is encouraging residents to oppose a citizenship question that will be added to the Trump's 2020 census. The question, are you a U.S. citizen, could be added at the request of the Justice Department. According to the Santa Fe New Mexican, Weber has introduced a resolution to the Santa Fe City Council calling on lawmakers to call that question discriminatory. More than a dozen state attorneys general in several cities and counties have already filed a federal lawsuit blocking the question.
At number 3, scattered to widespread storms and showers expected again this afternoon and evening. Heavy rain causing localized flooding is going to be our top concern. Temperature-wise, we're looking at upper 80s to low 90s. Western and central New Mexico will be favored for the best coverage of showers and storms for the weekend.
At number 2, police are looking for information on a potential serial killer. They're also asking for your help. Officers say last November a message was left on a truck stop bathroom wall talking about a body that was hidden somewhere along an unnamed interstate in New Mexico. A nearly identical message later popped up in another state. Investigators say the vague messages aren't tied to any crimes or missing people, and there's no hard evidence of a serial killer or even a crime just yet. Still, they're not taking any chances, and they're asking the public to be observant.
Number 1 now, 2 high-profile child abuse cases, one ending in death, the other in charges of prostitution, are the reasons APD says things are changing within their investigations department. The Police Oversight Board grilled the chief last night over the 2 cases who they say appear to have investigative flaws. One of those cases, the death of Victoria Martins, Chief Mike Geyer told the board moving on to become a detective is currently a lateral move. He wants that to become a promotion with tougher requirements. The chief says his command staff is now working to implement more formal policies, including testing and requirements that his officers have to have before they do become an actual detective.